And as I always suggest, if you feel like your spine is rounding when you're seated, that's tight hip flexors here. So to find some more length in your hip flexors, you can sit up on a blanket or a pillow or a bolster and then scoot your hips right to the edge so the knees come down below the hips, and you'll find yourself sitting taller. You'll feel more extension in your spine. So once you get settled and planted, take a moment to land, relax your shoulders away from your ears. Take a deep breath in and let it go. And close your eyes if that's comfortable for you this morning. Allowing yourself to turn inward. And giving your mind a moment to slow down and recognize that we can go from a state of doing things and thinking about things and work towards a state of being present and focused on breath and movement today. Start to make that connection with your breath. Encouraging a deepening of the inhalation. Encouraging a full exhalation. Notice your body. Notice the different parts and the different areas and how they're feeling. Become aware of sensations. And then with your eyes closed, if it's comfortable, start to take some circles with your torso. Big circles. Barrel rolls. Going in one direction. And then switching to the other direction. And then leaving your hands on your knees, we'll do some seated cat-cows, drawing the chest forward, lifting the chin on the inhalation, shoulder blades reach back. Exhale, round the spine, crown of the head pushes away from you. Do a few more of these at your own pace, breathing in as you inhale, breathing out to round the spine to exhale. Easy, full, complete, soft breaths. And then come up to neutral, drop your chin to your chest, interlace your fingers behind your head, elbows drop down. Find length in the back of the neck. Bring the head back up to neutral. Take the hands behind you, fingertips facing your hips, soles of the feet to the ground. We're going to come to table pose. So spread your fingers wide, and as you inhale, lift your hips. Bring your chest parallel to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, slowly lower your hips down. Let's do that a couple more times. Your feet and your hands are glued down as you lift your hips high. And then you exhale to lower down slowly. Inhale to lift, lift, lift. Exhale to lower with control. And then we'll bring the soles of the feet together and find a butterfly pose. Tuck your chin to your chest, drop the crown of the head down. Relax through the back, round your spine into a C curve. Come back up. We're going to make our way onto hands and knees. So come onto your hands and knees. And once you arrive, we're going to take those barrel rolls again, this time from hands and knees. So going in one direction and then the other direction. And then cat-cow. So just kind of working through the spine. Checking in to see what your spine needs. And then let's make our way to child's pose. Hips to heels, reach out in front of you, bring your knees wide, bring your forehead to the mat, and walk your hands out long in front of you. Start walking your hands over to the right side, letting your left hand drape over your right hand. Other side. Back to the center. Come up onto hands and knees. Let's find down dog. We'll pedal our feet out. Swaying the hips, pressing one heel at a time into the mat, shaking the head out. Maybe you'd like to press into plank to align your shoulders over your wrists, your heels over your toes. And then exhale down to down dog. Up to down dog. You don't need to move your hands or feet too much now. You're in a good position. And then your feet are about 2 fist widths apart from one another. Tailbone high to the sky. Find some deep breaths here as your head hangs heavy. Coming into this first inversion. And then we'll start by walking our hands to the back of the mat. So we'll find our forward fold at the back of the mat. You can take ragdoll here, opposite elbows, rest in opposite hands. You can bend your knees as much as you'd like to here. Really finding length through the entire back body. So check in and see where you feel it today. I feel it a lot right here in my hamstrings today for whatever reason, tight hamstrings today. So just noticing that and maybe making a note to myself to bend the knees and be a little kinder to my hamstrings this morning. And then we're going to come all the way up, reaching fingertips to the sky. Bring your palms together. Come into your mountain pose. Bring your hands to your heart. Shoulders up and released away from your ears. Next time you inhale, we're going to reach all the way up. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway, flat back, long spine. Exhale to fold. Let's do it again. Inhale to come up. Exhale, let's come right back down. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold here. Let's walk our hands forward. We're going to come to plank pose. And then once you find a plank, lower your knees to the mat, Ardha Chaturanga. So bringing the elbows into the ribs, we're going to come to the belly. And then find a little baby cobra. Peel your head, your neck, your chest. And as you exhale, bring the forehead to the mat. Table pose, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time we're going to walk feet to hands, forward, fold at the top of your mat. Coming into ragdoll again, checking in with the back body again. Looking for length where you can find a length. And And then go ahead and come all the way up, fingertips to the sky, palms together. Exhale, hands meet at your heart, finding your mountain. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold here. Let's step one foot and then the other back to our plank. We'll do Ardha Chaturanga again, half Chaturanga Dandasana. Knees down, elbows into the ribs. Come all the way down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, forehead to mat. Inhale, table pose. Exhale, down dog, hips to sky. Couple of breaths here. Let's walk hands to the back of the mat. Once you get to the back of the mat, little bend in the knees, come all the way up, fingertips reach up, hands come to the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold here. Hands walk to the top of the mat. Find your plank. This time, once you find a plank, maybe you'd like to take full chaturanga. Elbows into the ribs. Up dog or baby cobra. Exhale, meet me in downward facing dog, hips to sky. This time we're going to look to the top of the mat. Step the right foot forward, low lunge. Plant the left palm, take the right arm up. And then drop it down. Let's step the left foot forward to meet the right, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale to fold. Step one foot back and then the other foot to plank. Flow or skip it, meeting in down dog. Look to the top of the mat, step the left foot forward between the thumbs. Plant the right palm, send the left arm up, open twist. Exhale, drop it down. Right foot meets left, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Take a moment to bring your feet under your hips. Equally distribute the weight between both feet. And settle in. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold. Meet me in down dog. Step back. Take your flow or skip it. One breath in down dog. And then look to the top of the mat, feet to hands. Lengthen halfway. And fold. Let's do it again. That's sun salutation A. Come all the way up, saluting the sun. Exhale with your breath, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, long spine. Exhale to fold. Step back. And then it's an exhalation as you lower down. An inhalation through your back bend. An exhalation to down dog. This time the right leg's going to float up, lift with the heel, and then send it through low lunge. Find your low lunge, come onto the ball of the back foot. We're going to take that open twist again, sending the right arm up, and then bring it back down. Do it again. Inhale, sweep up, right arm sweeps. Exhale, drop. One more time, open and drop. Now take the back foot to 45 degrees, rise up, warrior one. Settle in for a moment. And then take the right hand back to touch the left thigh. Find this reverse warrior. Come back up through warrior one. Let's do that again. It's a little twist. Right hand drops back to touch the left thigh. Reverse it. Come back to warrior one. One more time. Drop the right hand. Reverse. Come back to warrior one. This time come to airplane arms. Draw the crown of your head forward. Exhale, airplane arms. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, airplane. One more time, reach it up. And find your airplane. Hold your airplane here. Fingertips back. Start to press into the right foot for warrior three, lifting up, finding your balance. Fix your gaze. Focus on one point. And then we'll step it back to warrior one, lifting up. Big breath in. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Straighten the front knee. Let's prepare for pyramid. Step the back foot in a bit. Rotate your hips to the top of the mat. Start to hinge forward at your hips. And then once you find length in your spine, take your version of pyramid. You can drop your hands down. You can take a bind behind your back, opposite wrists, opposite elbows, or reverse prayer, sliding your pinkies up your spine. Release your hands down to frame your front foot. We're going to step forward, forward fold. Bend into the knees and come all the way up, palms together. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Next time you inhale, find your chair pose. Sweep up and back, setting your hips down and back behind you, shifting your weight into your heels. Find a little softness here. On your next exhalation, come to standing. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale to fold. Let's do that again. Inhale, come up just to reconnect with the breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale to fold. Let's find our plank pose, stepping one foot then the other back, and then flowing if you'd like to flow. This time we'll lead with the left foot, rise up. As you exhale, step it through low lunge. You're going to be on the ball of the back foot. Make sure the front knee is over the front ankle. And then peel the left arm up, inhale. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale to rise. Exhale to drop. One more time, rotate open, low lunge. Press the back foot down, 45 degrees, step in a bit, make warrior one feet, and then find your warrior one. We're gonna twist back, so left hand comes to right thigh, back of the right leg, reach up and back with the right arm. Inhale, warrior one. Do that again, exhale, drop, reach up and back, warrior one. One more time, exhale, reach up and back, find your warrior one. Settle in for just a breath. Then as you exhale, hinge at your hips, reach back, long spine. Do that twice more. Inhale to rise. Exhale to hinge and reach. Once more, big breath in as you rise. Full exhalation as you hinge and hold it, drawing the crown away from you, crown of the head away from you. Warrior three. See what's going on with your balance on this side this time. Gently step your foot back, find your warrior one again. Rise up, breathe in. Bring your hands together at your heart. Straighten the front knee. Step in a little bit. We're going to prepare for pyramid. So arrange your feet the way you like to arrange your feet for pyramid. Rotate your hips forward and then start to hinge forward. Find your version of pyramid. Look to the top of the mat, step the right foot to meet the left, and fold, just fold. Inhale, chair pose. Let's come back into our chair. Opportunity to look for strength in your low body. To glue your feet to the mat. Shift your hips down and back. Straighten your knees, forward fold, let it go. See if you are holding your breath. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Let's go through our flow, or simply step back to downward facing dog. This time the right leg's gonna come up high. We're gonna take the right knee to touch the left elbow, twist across. And then send it back. Let's do it again. Right knee, left elbow. This time we'll find fallen warrior. Come out onto the knife edge of the right foot and peel the left arm up. Send the left hand down, down dog splits. This time as you exhale, step through warrior two. We're gonna rise right up and come straight into reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Do that a couple more times. Reverse and extend. Twice more. Reverse, really reach back, keep the feet planted, and extend. Let's come back through center, warrior two. Straighten the front knee, heels in, toes out, 5-pointed star. Exhale, forward fold. Take your hands behind your back if that's accessible. Interlace the fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades together and find that shoulder opener. Let your head hang heavy. Look for some length in the back of your neck. And then drop your hands down to the mat. Let's walk our hands to frame our front foot, coming back into a low lunge. And then step back to plank and center your right hand under your nose for side plank. Peel the left arm up. Find your variation of side plank. We have lots of variations here, you know that. And I'm gonna let you stay here as long as you'd like. You can accidentally take wild thing like I just did. You can maybe look for your star pose, your toe hold, your tree, whatever it is. We'll meet in child. So as you're resting in child, come back to focusing on your breath. Reconfirm your commitment to work on breath and movement and stillness. And we'll meet back in down dog. So if you'd like to realign your down dog, you can do that by coming through plank. And then the left foot floats up. Inhale, exhale, left knee, right elbow, twist and hold. Let's do that again. Send it up. And then send it across. Straighten the left knee, come onto the knife edge of the left foot, peel up, fallen star. Drop the right hand, down dog, splits, left leg high. Inhale. Exhale, step through, warrior two, rise up, and as soon as you get there, reverse warrior, left hand comes up and back. Exhale, extended side angle. Twice more, inhale, reverse. Exhale, extend. One more time, reverse. And extend. Come back to neutral. Come to 5-pointed star, heels in, toes out. We're gonna come right back into that wide-legged forward fold. This time, start to walk your hands out in front of you like you're coming into down dog, but with your feet nice and, your legs nice and wide. So variation of your wide-legged forward fold. If you want to come down into forearms here, you can do that if that's feeling good for your chest or your wrists. And then walk your hands back towards your body, wide-legged forward fold. Start to walk your hands to frame your left foot, low lunge. Sorry, I got lost. Step back into plank. Bring your left hand under your nose, tip your heels, side plank. Find your variation, play around with this. Stay as long as you'd like. If you're feeling strong and you want to hang out, great. If you feel like child's pose is the thing that your body needs, we will all end up there. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Right leg's gonna come up. Bring the right knee to the left elbow again, twist it across. Send it back. Let's come back into fallen star. Twist, straighten the right knee, coming onto the right foot, edge of the right foot, peel it up. This time, if you want to try a variation, the left foot can come up sort of like a side plank, but a little off balance, a little off kilter. And then we'll step back, down dog splits, right leg high, inhale. Exhale, step through, warrior two, just like we did before. Come right into peaceful warrior, inhale. Exhale, half moon. We're gonna send the right hand down in front of the right foot and start to find that half moon shape. I'm gonna grab a prop for under my hand, which is nice to help with the lift. And then find your version of this. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. You can take a variation here if you want to. Bending the left knee and reaching back, maybe finding a bind here. Release a bind if you have it. We're gonna be back in warrior two. Try to place the foot down with control. Find your warrior two. Gaze over your right fingertips. Settle in. Flip both palms. Flip them back. Fingertips are reaching out in opposite directions. Flip the front palm, come to peaceful warrior. This time bring your hands around to frame your front foot, low lunge. Let's step back to plank and take a flow. This time you're going to send your left foot up high to the sky. Left knee touches right elbow, twist. Do that again, send it back. Twist it through for fallen star. Peel the right arm up. Option to take this variation where the back foot floats, maybe. See what you have today. And then we'll drop the right hand and knee back and down dog splits, left leg high. Exhale, step it through, warrior two. Rise up. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, half moon. I've got my couch. I'm gonna go for it with the couch. That's not a great height for me. I'll grab a prop. So find your half moon. Imagine that you're pressing your shoulder blades and your hips into the wall behind you. So you have this imaginary prop behind you. If you'd like to work towards the bind, you can do that. And And we're gonna step back, use control, bend into the front knee and find warrior two. See if you can place the right foot back. Settle in. Flip both palms over to soften the shoulders. And then flip them back and gaze over your left fingertips. Settle in for 3 breaths. Next time you inhale, peaceful warrior, reach up and back. And then take your arms around, frame your front foot. Low lunge, to plank, to down dog. Take a couple breaths in down dog. And then come onto your hands and knees. Walk your wrists right under your shoulders. We're going to work on a little twist here. Left arm, let's start with the left arm. It'll float up and then thread your needle, dropping your left shoulder down and coming onto your left temple. Take your right arm and press it firmly into the earth and walk your knees under your hips. See if you can encourage a rotation through your thoracic spine. And then if you want to balance a little bit, right foot can step back, coming onto the ball of the right foot or the right toes. And you can always come to down dog splits, right leg high. Another variation here is to take the right foot down and then step the right foot out to the right, bringing your leg kind of perpendicular from your hip. Continuing to focus on the twist. And then bring the knee right under the hip. Plant the palm. We're going to send the left hand back up to float. And then bring it down. And then just take a moment to wiggle the tail, maybe take a couple cat-cows. And we'll do it on the other side. So right arm's going to float. Send it under, thread the needle. Settle in, walk the knees back under the hips, plant the left palm. Encourage the rotation. And then same thing here, you can step the foot back. You can find balance by lifting the heel. You can step the foot out to the side. And then send it back, bring the knee under the hip, press your left palm, send your right arm high to the sky, come back to table. From table pose, tuck your toes under and start to slowly lift your knees as you come back into down dog. Once your hips come to the sky, press your hips back so you're in downward facing dog, and then bend your knees and start to float them down to hover. So don't let the knees touch the mat. As you exhale, slowly lift them. And at the end of the exhalation, press the hips back. Do that again. Inhale, drop. Exhale, lift slowly. Do that a couple more. See if it'll help you slow down your breath. Hover. And then bring it back. Once more, come forward to hover. And then bring it back. Good, let's walk our feet forward. We're going to come into a forward fold, bring the toes together, heels apart. We're going to come right into chair pose. Sit down, nice and low. So you're going to pick your poison here. You can stay here in chair pose, focusing on planting the feet and keeping the legs still and strong. You can stay here. You can drop your hands down for crow, either or both. So looking for your arm balance here, perhaps. If you've had enough crow, you can get back in chair pose. Take a breath in. Maybe exhale, try your crow again. All optional stuff. You pick where your energy level is. You pick your poses. I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to drop my feet, find chair. Exhale, drop my hands and find crow. When you're ready for child's pose, meet me in child's pose. If you want to take your hands back by your hips during child's, you can do that too. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. This time your right leg's gonna float up. As you exhale, bring your shin behind your wrists for pigeon pose. Once you have your shins behind your wrist, flex your front foot. And if both hips are not in one line, if you have one hip floating up, take a prop so that you can have your hips in one line, on one plane. If the front shin doesn't come parallel to the front of the mat, that's okay. You can pull your heel back unless that hurts your knees, your right knee. If that hurts your right knee, flip over onto your back for figure four. And then you're welcome to come down, surrender to the pose, forearms, forehead. Make sure the back leg is extended long. And reconnect with your breath. See if you can slow it down a bit here. The target in resting half pigeon is the outer right hip. That doesn't mean you won't feel it elsewhere. Most of us do. Also the front of the left hip flexor. But if this veers into pain, into figure four, or another variation of this shape, this is uncomfortable for you. See if you can encourage breath down into the hips. Make our way up onto our palms. One way to come out of this is to tuck the back knee, pack toes under, lift the back knee up and step into down dog. Hips might feel a little out of whack. One leg might feel longer than the other, so pedal the feet out. Option to go through a flow here if you'd like to. Before we do the other side, meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale, send your left heel high, big breath in. Exhale, take your left shin behind your wrists. Drop the knee and settle the back hip down. Look back, make sure the back leg is nice and long. Use your props to bring your hips into one plane if necessary. And then decide where your front foot should be to keep your knee protected. When you're ready, you can come down. You can also stay up. Try not to torture it, right? Just find a place where you can breathe and be. And sometimes it happens that one side works for resting half pigeon while the other side is asking for figure four. You don't have to do the same thing on both sides ever in any pose. onto our palms. Make our way back to down dog. Tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, find down dog. Take your movement, anything you'd like to take. And you know I always like to say that we accidentally sometimes get exercise during yoga. So if you'd like to take some bouncing balls, I'm going to do that. Bending into the knees, look up towards the thumbs, take little baby hops, and then start making your hops bigger and bringing your heels towards your hips, pressing into your palms. Try to land silently or as silently as possible. And when you're finished, let's come to child's pose. Just get the heart rate up a little at the end there. Let's meet in a seated position. Send your legs out in front of you, soles of the feet to the ground, tick-tock the knees from side to side. And then let's send the left leg out. Now that we have our hip open from pigeon, maybe we can bring the right shin in parallel to the chest. So notice where the leg is in space here. It's just like pigeon. So you're cradling that leg like a baby. Maybe sway it back and forth to get into the hip joint a little more if you want to. Several things you can do from this position. We have lots of options. You can bring this into a figure four and reach down for your foot, crossing your wrists, finding your forward fold. You can work towards compass if your hamstring's feeling good. So for compass, you're going to take the front foot, the left foot, and tuck it back. Bring your heel in towards you. And then you'll take your right arm and thread it under your leg, extending your right arm long and bringing your right hand down away from you. Then you'll grab onto the outer edge of your right foot with your left hand and see if you can straighten the right knee, bringing your gaze under your left armpit. So many options from that position. And then we'll come back to neutral, tick-tock our legs back and forth, and we'll see how it feels on the other side. Very often, I can find compass on one side and not the other. Just depends. Right leg out, left leg in. Find that seated pigeon type shape. Rock back and forth, lubricating through the left hip a little bit more. And then you can drop the ankle down to cross over the thigh, cross your wrists and reach for your foot. And or work towards your compass shape. Left knee hooks over your left shoulder as high as you can get it. And then tuck your right heel in. Take your right hand to the outside of your left foot and extend the left arm long. Straighten the knee. And maybe send your gaze under your right armpit. Let's come back out of this shape. Send our legs out in front of us one more time. Go ahead and tick-tock the knees side to side. And then send the right leg out, tuck the left foot in. We're going to rotate our torso over our left knee. Make a fist with your left hand, pull your left elbow back. So the shoulder is going to rotate open until you can't move back anymore. Right hand comes to right shin, left arm reaches up and over towards the right toes. So every exhalation might allow you to come a little deeper into this crescent shape, but you're trying to keep both hips planted. So you're trying not to let the left hip pop up. If the left hip does start to pop up, just pull back a little. Send the left hip back down to the ground. Coming back up. We're We're going to switch sides. Same thing here. Rotating, making a fist with the right hand, pulling the right elbow back until you can not twist any further. And then drop the left hand down and take the right arm up, reaching for your left toes. And then back to your neutral spine. Come back through center. Take your legs out in front of you. Option for boat pose here. If you have a block, you can take a block and squeeze it between your thighs, which really helps remind you to not let everything splay out. You can also take a block in between your hands here. So everything's kind of like in one long line of energy. Lean back, option to lift your toes, option to lift your arms. You can leave your toes down. You guys know there are a million variations of boat. So take the one that helps you to really engage through your core muscles. The muscles that wrap around your torso and allow you to stand and sit and twist and walk. And then when you're ready to come out of boat, drop your feet. Slide your hands under your thighs. Take a hold of one wrist with the opposite hand and round your spine, pulling your shoulder blades apart, coming into this little C shape. And then we'll make our way down onto our backs. Once you come onto your back, step your feet out wide, let your knees rock back and forth a little bit and realign the low spine, the lumbar spine. So then we will do bridge pose. I like supported bridge, I prefer it. So I like to take a block right under my hips and then set my hips on the block. And then you can take the other block between your thighs, give it a little squeeze, and then it'll help keep your ankles and knees in alignment. I feel plenty of a back bend here. That's not the right way to say it, but I feel enough of it. So squeezing the shoulder blades together under a little, maybe lifting the chest. You can take your arms up next to you. If you want to take a more active bridge, bring your palms down and you can lift your hips up and off the block, but keeping that block squeezed in between your thighs. Wherever you are, think about spreading your toes wide and engaging your feet, pressing down and away as if you're trying to pull the mat out from under you with your feet. And then if you're in your more active bridge pose, feel free to slowly lower down one vertebra at a time, tick-tock your knees back and forth, and then come into a second bridge. So if you'd like to take a second bridge, go for it. Lift the chest a little, lift the chin. Finding some space in the collarbone in bridge pose. Option for one more. So if you're up, start to lower down slowly, starting at the top of the back, and then the mid back, and then the lower back, and finally the tailbone. Take a minute to knock the knees back and forth. And then option for one final bridge pose or one final back bend if that's in your practice this morning. We will all end up on our backs. We will all tuck our knees into our chest, rocking side to side, back to front, giving the low back some relief. And then plant the left foot, bring the right knee in, give it a little squeeze, interlacing your fingers at your right shin. Use your left hand to guide your right knee across and extend your right arm long. Find your supine twist. Your nose can face the sky. Melt your right arm, right shoulder, and right shoulder blade down. Use your left hand for a little extra pressure if that feels accessible today. And then draw yourself back through center so your hips are back on the mat. Pull both knees in again. Neutralize your low spine. And we'll do it on the other side. Right foot plants, interlacing your fingers at your left shin. Pull the left knee into your chest. And then guide the right arm across. Extend your left arm long. Rotate. Pull your knees back in through center. One more time, pull them in, little squeeze, little rock, maybe happy baby. Time for Shavasana, so get yourself ready for that, however you like to do that. Finding a shape that's going to allow you to rest and breathe. Shavasana is corpse pose, so that's traditional, but there's another shape, a meditative shape that you like to take. Feel free to take that. Settle in. Take a final scan. And just be. Begin to deepen your breath. Take some gentle movement in your extremities. When you're ready to bring your knees in towards you, give yourself a little hug. Maybe rock side to side. We'll meet in a seated position, legs crossed, palms together at the heart. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming to your mat. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Thanks, Beth. That was great.
You're welcome.